And 3, 2, and we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wolf. It's good to see all of you here. Really excited for this conversation. Chatting with Steam22, the next evolution in sports betting. They've taken the $50 million plus proven sportsbook business, and I've actually chatted with them before. It's our second podcast now, so I'm excited to get some updates. But they're now scaling into the on-chain world. Instant payouts, for full transparency. There's also a reward system benefiting the players. They've got a great Discord. If you are in the sports betting world and you don't have a home yet, or you need a second home or third, highly recommend you guys check that out. I'm going to actually drop a link down right below the stream here in the next couple seconds. So once we're live, I'll drop that. You should see that literally in the next 30 seconds. We have Talking Tree with us today for the podcast. How are you, man? It's good to do this round two.
I am doing very good. As we previously discussed, just busy, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, well, so real quick, before we jump in, give a brief introduction on who you guys are and what you're up to. And then I definitely want to get some updates on, from the last time we spoke. It was a couple months ago, I think.
Oh, yeah. So much has been going on.
I believe it.
Yeah. So, so Steam22, we are one of the first, I believe the first from our research, that's what we are, the first fully decentralized on-chain sportsbook and gaming platform. We have been around in the Web2 world for many a moon. And now we are delving into the blockchain arena with our on-chain book. Everything's moving forward with it. Kind of got some new twists and turns for what we're doing and how we're offering things, and just trying to get people excited and let them know that we're here and what we're going to be doing.
Very nice. Okay, and cool. So that all makes sense. Tell me about some of the updates you guys have had. It's been a little bit of time. I know you guys were building stuff. The last time we had left off, you told me how excited you were for the next couple months.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited to chat.
Yeah. So platform is nearing completion. Some of our Web3 games are, our in-house games, the ones we develop ourselves. Those are all finished. Book is completely done. We are essentially just waiting on licensing. In the interim, we've rolled out, we have our secondary token that generates if you hold Steam called Heat. We've rolled out our marketplace, put out a bunch of giveaways, but close to $250,000 worth of sports memorabilia, stuff like that into the marketplace, where people can actually enter raffles and have a use case for the token right now while we wait on our licensing. Most of what we're doing right now on the development side is just polishing. And then on the legal side, we're dealing with like terms of service, KYC, AML stuff, finishing up the licensing stuff. And we're also spinning up another entity for fiat to crypto onboarding and on-ramp and off-ramp. So just chugging along through the process and getting the entities squared away and licenses done. So we're all good to go.
Definitely. And talk to me a little bit about this. So sports betting's pretty massive across the board. I mean, it's like it grows exponentially every single year, especially like some of the biggest influencers and well-known figures on the social media are doing it all the time. And so talk to me a little bit about the problems you see in the industry that made you think this has got to be rebuilt. We have an idea. We're going forward with it.
So when I met Casey, who was the person who's running the current book, me and him sat down and talked about crypto. I was excited to have a friend because where I live in Houston, we don't really have a whole lot of crypto-oriented people. It's not a mecca or a hub for anything blockchain related. So I was just excited to meet someone and talk to him about what my passion in blockchain development is with me and my team. And we kind of talked about some of the problems that he saw and issues with how books are ran and how, his ethos as far as what he does is he's there for people to have a good time. Like there's money in it. It's just like there's money in all sorts of different things, but there's not the best transparency with regard to like bet settlement. There's not the best transparency with regards to how odds are generated or how they're calculated through APIs. And so we started talking about things that we can do to change it. And one of the things was bring it on chain, let everyone see, open up the back room, which no one does. Like no one does. We actually, there's a lot of people that are, I guess, in the industry that aren't too excited that we're coming around because people are starting to take notice. Because we are aggregating odds. We're pulling multiple APIs, we're aggregating them, taking the mean average, and then producing the most fair odds. Not what we say are the most fair odds, but the on-chain verifiable most fair odds. Here's what we're given. Here's the average of those, and here's what people. Here's what they're playing against. Here's their odds. That's not how anyone else does it, and they're not too excited that we're doing it that way, but we don't really care. We are, and the people that have come into our community and the people that are existing from the Web 2 book are all super excited about that. The reward system being on chain, having a use case for the token outside of just betting or gaming with the marketplace that we deployed. All of that stuff makes us just a little bit different. And then when you add in like our side bets and our on-chain messaging system, everything is immutable. Everything is trustless and decentralized with regard to betting, messaging, placing side bets, and it's all blockchain verifiable and secure. That is something that no one else really does, and we are excited to be the first to do it.
I love that. And talk to me a little bit. So you've got the STM. You've also got Heat. How do those tokens play into the ecosystem overall? Is this part of the rewards I was talking about earlier? Like for the new person entering the ecosystem, open this up a little bit for me.
So the way that it works is we don't believe most of the time when you're going to get an asset for holding crypto, you're going to have to stake it. I kind of have a problem with that. It is good for the ecosystem up to a point, but what you end up with is an asset that you have to pay most time in gas fees to stake and then pay gas fees to unstake. So you own something that you put into a contract that you have to pay to get back, but you've already paid for that thing that you own. So I don't really agree with that. It's kind of against my ethos. So we go with what we call passive staking. So just by holding it, we have oracles that read the blockchain, see what wallets hold. Yeah. So we see what wallets hold Steam, and then we allocate Heat to that person. And that's another token that's on chain. That is the marketplace rewards token. You don't have to do anything except hold Steam. That's all you have to do to earn it. You go to a dashboard, you claim it, and then you use that token to enter raffles, purchase direct buys. I think we just did I think we loaded $500 or $1,000 worth of gift cards into the marketplace for direct buys. We do that like every week or so. Just load gift cards for people to buy, have raffles. I think we have a Rolex raffle right now.
Oh boy, really?
Xbox, PlayStation just went out. We just gave away a soccer ball, CR7 soccer ball. I forget his name.
I think it was Cade. I think you were supposed to send that one out to Cade out here in Puerto Rico. I think is what it was. Yeah.
We actually ended up sending it out to one of the whales whose son is a huge soccer fan, and he used up all of his Heat to enter as many raffles as he get. And he ended up winning, and he's local here in Houston. And
no kidding.
He's like, this is going to make my son's Christmas, and I was like, that's awesome. We should be putting a picture up of it on our socials. We got laptops, we got all kinds of stuff in there for people. And really what it is just for people to see a use and enjoy the ecosystem. We've gotten our callers up since last time we spoke. In sports betting, you call them like hot action or sharp action. They're like handicappers. And so that's something we've been doing in Discord now. We have, I think, 4 people that are posting regularly, and we're posting their calls and like they're winning. We're doing it, in the right way. We're posting like, this is their average win rate, pick your flavor.
Yeah.
So we're just, trying to engage the community, get other communities involved. We got poker tournaments that we're doing on a bi-weekly basis, and that is leading to something that's going to be a lot of fun, which you guys, I think, are going to be participating in. And that is, we are going to be inviting some of y'all out for a IRL tournament.
Wait, when is this?
We'll be sponsoring. I think it's going to be in February or March.
Okay.
Like $150,000 or $250,000 tournament, and we're going to bring some people out. We're going to have we have a system where people that are playing in the online tournaments right now, they're getting essentially like points to qualify for get the invitational to get invited to the actual poker tournament that's going to be here in Houston. With some of those spots being all expenses paid, hotel, flight, everything to the IRL tournament for people that are interested in joining that.
Well, I know Sam is our resident poker player here at Wolf. Yeah, I'm sure he would be the absolute winner of this. He's told me.
He is one of the people that helped us come up with the idea.
I love it.
Very excited. The problem is
that
a lot of these guys that are coming to this tournament that are on the Steam team are people that hold World Series poker bracelets. So good luck, Sam.
Well, listen, we can only hope and hope for the best there. That is awesome.
Really what we're doing it for is we're just doing it to engage the community, get people to come out, get them to have a good time, get them to meet the Steam team and know who we are. Also because it's fun. And Casey, when we mentioned the poker tournament, he was like, I'm down. I will sponsor it. I will get other sponsors for it. I love poker. Yeah, and we have since played poker with this guy. Sorry, I just disappeared off the green screen. We have played poker with this guy. He is absolutely 100% a lifetime poker player. Like, if you tell him there's a poker game, he's like, let's do it. I'm down.
Poker brings a lot of people together. I've been blown away, especially in the Bitcoin community. They all love Bitcoin. They like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They like chess and like wine and steak. That's like about it for the Bitcoiners. So
Yeah.
you can probably summarize it right there.
Well, I mean, when I first got into the space, I was in blockchain and stuff, and development and stuff like that for. Sorry, I got a bug. For a couple of years, and I ended up stumbling across Zeneca during the whole NFT craze.
No kidding. Okay, I know him.
And read about his backstory and stuff like that. And he was a bracelet winner for World Series Poker. Became a really well-known poker player and got into NFTs. I think in 2020, and just kind of took off from there. And so, like, there's a lot, especially with the tournaments that we're doing right now. There's a lot of people coming from other communities that are like, "This is just my new poker home." Just having fun, doing game nights, dropping heat to people, doing Steam giveaways, and enjoying the whole process. It is turning into a very intense but a very fun ride, and I think we got a long way to go. Well, a lot of fun way to go.
Yeah.
Short for deployment, long for the
longevity
price.
And tell me about this. So, like, real quick on like in the very beginning, I alluded you guys have a Discord. Highly recommend if you're watching this conversation right now, if you're in the sports betting world, even a little bit, you like gambling, or you like poker, you like all those things, mess around and being around those kind of people. This is the place to be. It's the link is right below the stream. If you're watching it, you can give Steam a follow right above us, and you can go check out the Discord right below. But for the people in the Discord, what have you found that they're the most interested in? Are they mostly talking poker? Are they betting on the football games? Like, where's their focus right now? What sports do they get like the most activated on, I guess?
So in the Discord, what we see is a lot of just community hanging out and talking. There's a lot of people that are we've had a couple of guys that have since become whales in the token that have reached out to us and they're like, man, I'm following these sports calls. Like we have a community call where other people that are like junior callers or like junior handicappers, they're putting out calls. They're engaging with each other on that. They're saying, who they're going for. There's a lot of banter back and forth about teams. There's, and then there's a lot of we have Shaw, Casey. I'm looking at the Discord right now. Casey's CB's Oppo picks, Rolling with Raz, WizKid picks, and Jesse is Punty, which I think is funny. And then Dara Dimes. Those are all different callers that we've brought in that are affiliated with us to actually post plays for people to bet on. And there's some people that are winning some real money off of those. Like they're following the callers and doing pretty well. Other than that, it's just people hanging out, in a Discord is what I've been seeing. But it's moving. People are in there. How are you doing? Good morning. What's up? What are the calls? Poker is a very, very popular topic. Especially when we go into the tournaments and we launch the stage and people are putting bounties on one another, trying to take each other out of the tournament. It's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. I love that. And also, I forgot to ask this a second ago. So just back to the STM token and heat a little bit. Do people have to be active bettors to benefit? How does holding STM also create value? What's the best way, I guess, to think about that?
So declarative statement. Steam is a utility token, and that is, according to our SEC attorney letter, its utility token is not a tool of investment. The way that Steam works is there's two main functions of it. One is to generate heat for the marketplace, which is the rewards token, where people will have increasing items that they can direct buy or they can enter raffles for. The other is for interacting with our betting contracts. So when the book goes live, and when I say live, I mean when our licensing finally comes through in Curacao, when it goes live, Steam functions like a protocol token. It's kind of like the function that XRP is supposed to serve with the Federal Reserve and national banks, right? Okay. XRP is a protocol token to initiate funds transfers globally. That's faster than the SWIFT system. That's the whole point of XRP. Steam is kind of like that for the Steam ecosystem. The point of Steam, my green screen is bothering the heck out of me. So the point of Steam is to initiate betting contracts where when people are betting, they're betting one Steam to one Steam. So if you place a bet for 10 Steam, and let's say it's just an even up bet, 50-50 chance. If you win, you double your money. If you lose, you lose your money. We have to, on our side, put Steam into the betting contract to secure the funds for the bet. That's one of the things that's different about us, especially with a lot of people that are using smaller books. I mean, the bigger guys have had this problem in the past where they just decline bets because they don't pay or they take time to pay. But a lot of little guys or medium-sized guys even can go under from one bet. We can't do that. It's impossible because in order for us to start the bet, the funds have to be locked in the contract to secure the win. And we can't overextend ourselves. We can't generate more token. It's non-mintable. So that's just how it has to work. So one of the other ways is when you deal with supply and demand, if you're just an investor and you're looking at protocol tokens, and what makes it valuable is supply and demand, right? So if you have a protocol or a betting contract that you need to initiate, someone wants to initiate the bet, you buy the token on both sides, you put it in the betting contract, and you wait for the outcome. So when you do that, and you're doing it with a flow of what the average sportsbook does, between say 5 and 10,000 active weekly users, and that is 100% a small book. When you do that, what you end up with is something that is constantly fluctuating within range on a supply and demand curve, right? Because supply and demand, we're taught, is you're about trying to achieve market equilibrium, right? We all taught this in high school. So if you think of it this way, right now we have 27 million token that has been vested by long-term holders for 3 years. We hold about 30 million token in operational reserve and reserve for betting contracts and stuff like that. We don't sell our token. We have to hold it because when we go live, we have to have it to initiate into smart contracts. When you think of it that way, 100 million total supply. Right now, we have an overall circulating supply of between 25 and 30 million. And then you look at the average amount that someone bets, you end up with a token price that's much, much higher just to reach market equilibrium on the supply and demand curve than what it currently is at. And that's based off of use, and 100% based off of use. And the way I explain this to people when they're like, okay, I'm not quite following, say, okay, think of it this way. We know through statistical averaging, that the average sports bettor is going to bet 15 to 17 times a week. They're going to bet between $50 and $100 per bet. Now, I have done my own little, it's not double blind, it's not peer reviewed. If I could get it, that'd be great. But every sports bettor that I'm able to talk to, I say, hey, how many bets do you place on average a week? And they're like, 10 to 15. And I'm like, okay. And I go, do you ever do a bet that's less than $20, less than 30, less than 40? What's your betting range? And they go, between, 40 and $100. And I'm like, okay, cool. So every research study that we've looked up, we've also done our due diligence and asking other sportsbook owners that we have come across, what does your betting handle look like? What does your mix look like? And they'll tell you. Well, if you're friends with them, they'll tell you. So our numbers are proving to be, from what we researched at the beginning, accurate. And so if you think of it this way, no one's going to want to place a bet for 10 cents. They're going to place a bet for, call it, we'll go on the low end, 20 to $70, right? On just an average bet. As you restrict supply, as people place those bets, token value goes up, right? There's less supply. It's locked in a contract. It comes out of circulating supply when it does that. And price, there's an old saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. So someone who's not into betting and not into iGaming, which would be like original games is what they call them at Stake and Yeet. Ben Lamb at Yeet once told me that they call them either house games, original games, or Web3 games, because it's the Web3 community that really likes them. So we have those. We also will have custom slots and stuff that we'll be pushing out, probably primary, so closer to summer, that we've developed. So we're not just a book. We have every flavor that you could want, including plans to go into poly markets and plans to go into live table games eventually. Think summer next year. So with that being said, there's all kinds of different stuff to do other than sports, even though we are very much sports themed. Even our crash game is someone kicking a ball or throwing a ball because we thought it was a fun spin. But you can also generate your rewards and generate heat. You can interact with the marketplace. And that was important to me because one of the big things that we knew in the Web3 community is it's a global community. There's entire places of the world where betting is not copacetic. They're placing bets and gambling is not allowed. We're like, so how do we include those people? Well, we do a marketplace where they generate a token. They don't ever have to interact with the casino, and they can still participate and enjoy the marketplace and the community that's developed around it. And my thought process when I was talking to Casey about this was, it's kind of like you have people that go to the Golden Nugget and Lake Charles here outside of Texas. I live in Houston. It's Houston Astros. For us, we have weekend trips. We go to the Golden Nugget. I have friends we go with, and we just go sit by the pool. We go to dinner. We hang out. We go see a show. And they don't gamble. They don't believe in gambling. They don't do anything with gambling, but they still go there. and they go there for a good time to enjoy. And so that was kind of the thought process: is let's give people another way to interact in a community that while it's sports oriented and iGaming related, they have other options to participate as well, because we wanted to be inclusive, which is important to us. And that's kind of what Web3 is all about, is just being inclusive, building community. It's been about that forever. I mean, that's what makes it so popular with people. And so if you don't want to bet, you have multiple other avenues to kind of walk down within the Steam ecosystem, especially as we start to push more and more out. We have our subsidiary companies that we're pushing out for Steam Pay, which is like a MoonPay derivative, and stuff like that people will be able to participate and use just like they will at the sportsbook. So
that's very cool.
There's a lot developing around it that I think people are going to very much enjoy. And if they watch our Twitter and join our Discord, they'll be seeing screenshots of the platform here in the next, I think, 5 to 10 days.
Let's go. All right. Very nice. Well, another reason, guys, if you're watching right now, hop in the Discord right now. Link is down below. So there are, like I said earlier, there's a bunch of huge names in the sports betting world. It's DraftKings, Stake, Rollbait, like a few come to mind. How do you guys, where do you fit into that? Like in a competition versus you also said, which is a rising tide lifts all boats, but how do you hope to stand out here as well? Like what position do you hope to be in the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh, I mean, ideally, we're standing right next to DraftKings. If I could aim for the stars and hit the star I wanted to hit, it'd be right next to DraftKings and FanDuel. That's the kind of energy we want to bring. Now, with that being said, realistically, this is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It is a lot of development. My CTO and lead developer is right behind me right now coding. He had to get up and go to the printer. So for us, it is something that we want to take the measured approach and hit our growth cycle and actually stay within a window and not just say we are going to be here right away. Right. There's a long road. There's a lot of regulatory stuff we have to get through. Our licensing for our first jurisdiction is underway. We have Malta, we have Canada, we have Isle of Man. We have a lot more to get done on that end. But we have a process, and our legal counsel and our infrastructure internally here on the corporate side is very, very dense and very well funded to do the things that we need to do. But for us, it is a process and it takes time. Our goal on our 3-year goal, which is where I try to aim my short term instead of 5, because 5, there's a whole lot that can happen, especially with election cycles and stuff like that. For us, in 3-year goal, our goal is to hit between 50,000 and 100,000 active weekly users. And that is lots of money marketing, lots of money in development that we will be pushing out, and just keep running the race, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Where we're at. We're not starting off bad. We're starting off with between 5,000 and 10,000 active weekly users. So
yeah.
And when you look at the overall growth cycle in sports betting, I mean, you got to look at ESPN is talking about it. I mean, so much so, the NFL just made a statement about prop betting.
Did they really?
Oh yeah, it came out. James sent me, or it was James or DJ sent me an article they came out with about trying to get books to remove prop betting for players because players are getting caught. I didn't even know this. I follow betting as far as what's going on.
Yeah.
On a intensive basis, and I hadn't heard anything about it, but apparently players are getting caught betting against themselves or for themselves. And it's really not a problem when they're betting for themselves, but when they're betting against themselves,
yeah, that's a little.
That's a very Pete Rose kind of stuff.
Sure.
Well, not even Pete Rose. This is what people think about him, but he didn't bet against himself. He just bet. So, but there's a lot of that kind of stuff that people are talking about where the NFL's releasing statements. But I think that it's becoming mainstream, especially with the laws and the regulatory framework changing in the United States. It is very, very much expected to grow. I mean, you're looking at expected growth of 200% year over year for the next 5 years. So the market's there. With blockchain growing and people's knowledge base in blockchain growing, it is primed. That is why you see so many iGaming entities coming out. That's why you see major players like ESPN getting into the sportsbook game. I mean, ESPN produced odds forever, but now they're talking about deploying their own book. Oh my God, like that's huge.
Yeah, it is.
So the market exists, and it's just set to get bigger as the regulatory framework starts to come online for people to do this. And us being here and being on chain and being the first of something is huge for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's, there's a lot of hurdles to jump. There's a lot of, red tape that we have to cut through, but it's really not that hard because we actually know what we're doing and we have experience in it. So it's just a process.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm curious as well, like, beyond just like the traditional betting. By the way, that's crazy. I had no idea they were coming out with those statements. But beyond the traditional betting, will there also be features like peer-to-peer, like battles / betting, like referrals, social engagement styles things, or like what do you guys?
So that was important to us, is to make it so when we first were like, okay, we want to do this. Here's how we want to do it. Then it's like, okay, what makes us special? What do we want as the people who are founding this company and working on developing this? What do we want? Right. And me and Kate said, we're like, what the funnest thing about going to a casino is when you go with your buddies, or like me and my wife, we'll go together. Right. We're just talking shit to each other. We're having fun. We're joking around while we're betting. That's the experience. Right. And I think a lot of the platforms, you see some of them trying to come out with a better user experience, but it's been so derivative for so long that they're not really executing well. And for us, we have a clan infrastructure coming up where people can make clans and enjoy competing with other clans for prizes that we have. We have side betting, which is something that we love. It was our spin on copy betting. And with side betting, you get two options. One, you can see someone who's doing really well and you can copy their bet. You're not betting their bet. You are betting that they're right. So you're not placing you're not placing your bet in the contract for the game. You're placing your bet in a side betting contract that they're going to win their bet. But in that, we were like, okay, how do we make that more fun? We were like, okay, so what about when you're at the casino and you're betting with your buddies? And we bet it over stupid stuff. Like I bet you there's a cherry on this reel in the next spin on this slot. Or I bet you the next card is a face card in this blackjack game. So people will be able to do that through us, through side betting. And we were like, okay, so how do we make this to where people aren't like, oh, it's just another play on betting. Okay, well, let's let them do it in Heat and Steam, right? Let's let them place a bet in either of our tokens. That way, if they're like, I don't want to play Steam, but I don't know what I'm doing betting, so I'm going to practice doing this with Heat, right? Because I generate it, so if I lose a bet, I'm just going to regenerate more token. So we wanted to set it up to where people could just have fun without risking funds if they hold Steam, to where they could still enjoy the ecosystem and still have something usable in the rewards marketplace. And so we're really trying to set it up where anyone from an active bettor to a newbie can come in, get some good calls, learn, and enjoy and participate in the ecosystem and be inclusive. And with clans and stuff like that and getting the banter going, people are super, super excited. We've talked to people that have listened to the AMAs here, to the podcast, listen to the AMAs, people that we've had in like our poker tournament rooms and stuff like that, where we tell them about what we're building, and they're like, this is completely different. This is super cool. And now everyone is foaming at the mouth to see it. So we are very, very much have our feet to the candles on getting it out there. And everyone's asking, can we see it? Can we see it? And we're like, we have to wait for legal to tell us we can start showing it. And I'm sitting here texting our primary counsel here in Houston, like, hey, have you talked with the attorneys in Curacao yet? Like, we need to have that call so we can get this out, because people are wanting to see it. And I'm sitting here like looking at like, man, we have a leaked screenshot of it on one of our Twitters, but the initial like start of the design where we have like Apple Glass effects and stuff like that. And it's so clean. I think people are going to love it. Like, it's just, it looks so good. And when you compare that to what else is out there, that user experience really matters, especially in a world where people aren't face to face. You don't have dealers. You don't have that like glitz and glamour experience that you would have if you went to the Wynn or if you went to a major casino or anything like that. So we wanted to kind of give that feel of like, you want to be here. It's also aesthetically pleasing. It's not just an Excel spreadsheet that's click and drop down, which is just part of it. So
I agree. Yeah. That makes total sense. And just to double click a little bit on Steam Token, do you think, is there a world where it's eventually more of like a industry standard currency across like multiple sports books, or is this more to stay internal, you think?
I'm not going to say anything. I legally can't. We're under contract. How can I walk around this without getting in trouble? Yes, there's a possibility that exists that Steam is utilized in multiple sportsbooks and/or casinos. Yes, there's a strong possibility that there have been discussions about that already, and that there might be contracts and NDA signed. So I cannot say anything further.
Very nice. And lawyer approved. Looks like
yes.
Very nice.
That's all to be honest. I was much longer winded previously, but since we've last talked, there has been some developments in the positive way. So that's all I can say.
Very cool. Okay. Well, this also may or may not be a question you can answer, but are you able to, and how do you guys plan on like scaling when you're talking about globally and staying compliant with all sorts of different rules across jurisdictions, across countries? Like how does that all work?
Okay. So there is an old saying from a movie and it's a book and then a movie that I read a long time ago, and it is: the bureaucracy is increasing to support the ever increasing bureaucracy. And really what that means is infrastructure, partnerships, and infrastructure. We are a global company. We have no qualms about that. We fully understand that we have to have multiple teams all over the place.
Yep.
As of right now, we have legal teams in 4 different jurisdictions working with us, where we basically have engaged them to handle that jurisdiction, compliance, terms of service, KYC, AML. So really, that's just infrastructure and development on the corporate side, not on the blockchain or gaming side. So really, that's what we do. We really are becoming very streamlined and very getting our tack correct and getting very streamlined in that process. And then it's not so hard, because every new jurisdiction you go into, the people that we've engaged, like Ox and Wolf out of Curacao, and the law firms and entities we've engaged to help us in those jurisdictions, they all know someone in another jurisdiction where we want to pivot to next. So we are already staging after the Curacao license, because we have to have that approved first. We're already staging for other districts for licensing. It's just walking through that process and getting those set up so we can move through our roadmap. Gotcha. So other than that, it is just infrastructure, hiring people all over the world, getting marketers. I mean, just from marketing standpoint, knowing where to target your market. Where's your license valid at? How do you want to target the ads? What sports do they like? What's the target demographic in that area? And then you go from overall entire area of the globe to, okay, now let's go down to regions. What sports are popular in this county or this county, or this state or this state? What time are they online? All of that stuff is accounted for. And the wonderful thing about the world today is algorithms, because all of that are data sets that you can load in to target. Same thing with setting up your infrastructure, and you can actually streamline your company and become hyper efficient by just using algorithms that are, code essentially like scheduling, right? So for my medical practice that I have, we use stuff like that for coding and automation, right? For scheduling and billing and stuff like that. We do the same thing with the sportsbook and with Steam, is just using all of the tools at our advantage to be hyper efficient and move through jurisdictions. But you are very, very much correct. It is a very extensive process, and it is a very large net you cast when you become a licensed book or a licensed casino, because you're going after 8+ billion people in the world. So you have to target each segment of the population differently. So
I see.
To us, that is a major challenge, but we also have overcame a large portion of it through just computers, just being able to segment things down and target where we need to be, which makes us reserve our capital for other things that we need to spend it on. So that's what we worked on.
Makes sense.
And other than that, I have to bring my dev on, and he doesn't get on camera to explain. So
sounds good. Well, I appreciate the insights there, and I'm curious, on, I guess for the next, preparing for the next podcast, so I'm thinking about this. But do you? I guess, are you in more? I mean, you've talked about some of the things you have coming up, of course, but are you more in the zone of honing in on what you guys have and continue to build that? Or are you more in the camp? Maybe it's both, but are you more in the camp of, okay, we have new features we want to roll out, new things that we're bringing into the ecosystem and into the fold kind of thing? Or where are you guys sitting with all this? Because I'm looking forward to the next one, because you guys have updates every few months, you know?
Oh, yeah. So where we are right now is everything we promised for beta is live. Well, it's live internally. We can't push it externally until we get clearance to, or until our license comes through. So the initial build is done. It was done November 16th, which was our deadline. We met our deadline. Can't do anything with it until our license, but it's done. Right now, we're focusing on cleaning it up. We're debugging, and we are focusing on starting to add some of the slots that we developed using our logic engines. We went over it in the last time, so I just assumed that people would watch the first podcast. But so the background that I come from with regards to my affiliation with Steam is me and my team have been developing blockchain and a platform for 6 years, where we have a lot of tech that we've built. That's why we were so quick to be able to go to market. Mm-hmm. If the Curacao government would just be a little bit quicker in their licensing, we would be at market right now. So that's done. Now we're moving into what stuff we wanted to roll out for primary launch, which is supposed to be spring of this coming year, into getting that done and following our development schedule and timeline to push it out, with the hopes that once our licensing comes through, we're either at full primary launch stage, even though it'll technically be our beta, or kind of an amalgamation of primary and beta, seeing how far we can get. And it's just how far can we get before the license comes through, and then once we get there, we'll continue to move through our roadmap. I don't want to keep using add prediction style betting and stuff like that. Sure. That we wanted to add after, like 3 months after we went through primary. So all of that stuff is currently underway, with the initial promise of what we were going to build for beta being completed and ready to go. And I believe we had our weekly kickoff meeting yesterday. And I believe if people follow us on Twitter or go into the Discord, they should be able to see leaked screenshots that we'll be releasing of the beta platform in its beauty. And it is gorgeous. Our designers did a very, very good job.
What are you most excited about on there?
The fact that it functions.
Yeah.
Okay. So from taking it on chain, there were some challenges, especially with regards to APIs. And aggregating said APIs. So there was some of that. And there were also some challenges with just the amount of bets. So when we got into this, we were like, okay, so how many bets do we need to be able to carry? And we're like, we thought of everything we could think of before we had API access. And we were like, okay, this should be fine. And then we find out that with prop bets and everything else, one game has between 700 and 2,000 different lines carried on it. And what a lot of books do is they don't carry all of the lines, right? Because it's not profitable. And we were like, but that's not really fair. What if someone wants to bet on this player prop or this? Why don't we just carry everything? And it's like, okay, so how do we do that? Because that's extensive. I mean, if you look, you have a couple hundred different events going on at any given moment globally, because it's not just local sports or national sports. And then you have 700 to 2,000 individual lines for each game. So that was a pretty extensive walkthrough to get that out. So, when Kieran got it solved, I was like, yes. Shout out to eureka moments for us.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Well, listen, Trey, I mean, this is a great conversation. I always love chatting with you. It's cool to get the updates as well. You guys have been super busy. And again, for people who are watching the stream, if you're in the sports betting world and you want to get in and around a community of people who are doing these exact things, and probably some alpha, and seeing the best places to jump into this world are, the Discord is down below in the not the description. I guess if you're on YouTube, it is. But if you're on X, which I imagine most people are watching, it's the tweet right below the stream. So just go ahead and check that out. And give Steam a follow as well, right above our faces. You can click there, give them a follow for their updates that are going to be coming out for sure. But otherwise, it's been an awesome conversation. Is there any last things you want to leave us with?
Just come to the Discord and check it out. Go to Twitter and check it out, and watch us cook. Because we are Gordon Ramsay in that shit in the kitchen right now.
Let's get it. Well, you heard it here first, everybody. See you in the Discord. We'll see you guys all in the next one. Have an amazing rest of your day, and keep watching sports.